And thank you, speakers. We really do welcome you to this press conference. It's a very important occasion for the Czech Republic. As an Anglo-Czech, I can say that. I will say it in Czech in a little while for the members of the press. But really, it's a privilege and an honour, especially to have a Minister of Interior from Iceland coming to Prague for this Women's International Networking Conference. Let me just say a very quick word in Czech to the press. Že vás vítám. Všichni rozumíte anglicky, nebo mám to říct taky česky? Trošku česky, dobře. Tak jenom velice stručně, že si myslím, že máme tady opravdu velkou čest, že máme opravdu významné lidi tady v České republice, kteří se scházejí kvůli tady té mezinárodní konference. Zvlášť tady máme ministryni zítra z Islandu a myslím si, že to opravdu pro Českou republiku i pro Prahu, tím, že tady DIN, ta konference už je tady podruhé, tak si myslím, že to je opravdu velká čest. Just very briefly, who am I? I'm a senior recruiter, a senior manager who worked for Johnson & Johnson Inc. in the medical business, responsible for Eastern Europe for many years, but now I'm a volunteer, essentially Rotary District Governor for the District Czech Republic and Slovakia. That's 1,400 Rotarians and 70 clubs that I have to visit. Rotary, as most of you may know or not know, it's a global organisation where professionals, men and women, meet to do good. And there are 1.3 million of us around the world. Jen velice stručně, já tady zastupuju vlastně guvernérka Rotary, distriktu Česká republika a Slovensko. Rotary ve světě je vlastně skupina muži a ženy, profesionálové, který z biznisu, taky z politiky, taky ze zdravotnictví, který vlastně dělají dobročinné skutky, ale taky se pravidelně scházejí profesionálně. A je nás 1 300 000 po světě a já mám na starosti vlastně Českou republiku a Slovensko 70 klubů a 1400 členů. I would like to thank very much, very briefly, Lenka Šťastná from the Business Professional Network of Women, Renata Lucková and Eva Kaňáková for their help in putting all of this together, and above all, of course, WIN, which is the Women International Networking Group. I would like to introduce you to not only the organizer, but also to the leading speakers. May I just say that this is the 16th year of this conference and the second time it's in Prague. And it's a leadership conference which is focusing on bringing women together from politics, from business, from the humanitarian sphere, so that we can all connect up, so that we can all together actually build a better world and be agents of change. This conference today has been focusing on big issues like vision for the future. The next days will focus on what it is that companies and corporations would like. And then it's also going to focus on what women need and what women would like to do. And it's all about networking, mentoring, and harnessing women's energy. At the end of the day, women can be agents of change. And all the speakers will be able to show you that this is very true indeed. This year it's about beauty, about trust and about passion. Sorry, very quickly in Czech. Takže to je světová konference. Vlastně tady jsou ženy z politiky, z biznisu, taky z neziskového sektoru, z celého světa. Je tady 800 žen dohromady a scházejí se, aby probrali vlastně, jak můžou společně vlastně se spojit a vlastně změnit ten svět, aby to byl vlastně lepší. tam ve svých zemích, kde oni bydlejí, samozřejmě. A tady ukážeme ty speakery, jak vlastně oni hodně toho změnili ve svém světě a v práci a tam ve své zemi. A hlavně vás taky představím ty lidi, organizátorku, která to všechno začala. So let me introduce you to Kristin, the founder and president of WIN, the visionary who has transformed a very small group of people to the incredible organization it is today, and the 800 people that are meeting today. Please, Kristin, a few words, the key element of this conference and why is it important?
Yeah. So we are meeting here today, tomorrow, and the next day for 3 days to gather resourceful people. A lot of the people here come from big companies, smaller companies, politics and so on, but everyone here are resourceful people. So we are meeting to look also how we can create a better world and better work and better individual lives based on the principles of collaboration, based on principles of trust, based on the principles of our passion, putting purpose into what we do. So it's flourishing together sounds in many ways very light, and at the same time it's extremely serious in this time in which we live right now.
Takže já jsem se ptala, proč je ta konference důležitá. Od Kristin, od organizátorky, vlastně je to o tom, abychom vlastně pozbudili jako každého účastníka, aby spolupracovali a vlastně, aby spolupracovali s nadšením. Všechno vlastně v tomto světě půjde líp, i naší práci, i v politice, když budeme mít velké nadšení a budeme spolupracovat. A to je vlastně celý ten hlavní element tady této konference. Umran. Yes, over here. Thank you. Umran is a senior vice president of HR for PepsiCo AMEA, based in Dubai. And she has been very involved with PepsiCo's performance with purpose goals. She is also a dedicated advocate of diversity and inclusion and has an MBA and a BSc in industrial engineering from the university in Turkey. May I ask you also, Umran, what is your belief and idea about this conference? What do you think is the most important element?
I am here actually because we share the same values with WIN, Women International Network, and myself, and PepsiCo I should say, because we care for diversity and inclusion. Why we care? Because in our case, our shoppers, 70% are women. So we cannot ignore them, we have to bring them to the decision-making role. The second element is actually our talent pool. We cannot, again, ignore the 50% of the talent pool. Especially in the emerging markets, you have to get the right talent, the best talent. And also in the aging population like Japan and Korea, you have to, again, get those, the help of the talent pool into the business. And the third element is innovation. Different opinions, different backgrounds, different genders will bring the diversity and we will get innovation. And that's actually the core of our business, the growth. Therefore, we need women in the business. I personally believe in it. I try to do my best internally and externally. And at the end of the day, we will make the difference and we should be there in the decision-making points. And Women International Network is definitely the right platform to discuss all these issues together. Thank you.
Thank you, Umran. Just very briefly in Czech. Umran vlastně nám říká, že PepsiCo má ty stejné hodnoty jak WIN, jako organizátoři a proč to vlastně vznikl ta konference. 70% těch, kteří kupují PepsiCo výrobky, vlastně jsou ženy. Důležité je, že vlastně ve světě 50% minimálně jako populace jsou ženy a tady je vlastně celá řada i tí, kteří pracují vevnitř firmy a je to důležité i taky vybírat si ten správný talent, ty správné lidi do firmy, hlavně taky ženy samozřejmě. Je potřeba slyšet její názory a je vlastně potřeba vlastně poslouchat a naslouchat, protože ženy vlastně nejvíc kupují naše výrobky a musíme je vtáhnout do naší firmy a do naše rozhodování a samozřejmě do naší inovaci. Hannah, welcome. Hannah is the Minister of Interior in Iceland. She is a former successful mayor of Reykjavik and the first member of parliament on the Independence Party list for Reykjavik. She led the city of Reykjavik through a very difficult time financially in 2008. She's the vice chairman of the Independence Party since February 2013. And many, many more. She has certainly been an agent of change, and just in her speech to us, she talked about how it was necessary to put a whole slant of change in how there was a new approach to politics in Iceland after the dreadful financial crisis there. And Hannah actually led this change in politics. So can I ask you, Hannah, about your feelings about the conference and what you might like to add to what already Umran has said, please?
I just see it as a great opportunity for a group of women to come together and talk about the future, talk about how we want to see the world. What I am stressing constantly in my politics, if you like, is the fact that I firmly believe that we can change the world through politics. And I also firmly believe that that change will not happen unless women take greater part, both because they think on a different line than men do and they approach political issues in a different way. And I think the only way for us as well to get more women involved in politics is to tell them that politics should not be, and they are not, the way we have been defining them for centuries. We constantly define politics as war, as a battlefield even, if you like. That's not politics. Politics is the most beautiful thing, if you like, that you can do for your country and for your people. And we should try and change the way we think about them. We should get people involved together. We should reach consensus. We should try and lower all the barriers we are constantly climbing as politicians. I know that means doing things in a totally different way, but I think that's the only way to make sure that we can do great things for people. And I think that the people are ready. They've been ready for a long time. Politics hasn't been ready. Politicians hasn't been ready. So the game is in our hands, and I so sincerely, and I've seen it in Iceland, I've seen it in Reykjavik, that we can do different things when we approach the matter of politics in a different way. I think that's at least for me, is sort of the key, and I'm really, really pleased to be able to tell you about this in my speech earlier.
Hannah vlastně i nám řekla, když mluvila před chvilkou na plénu, že je to důležité, abychom vlastně všichni, muži a ženy, vlastně přišli do a vůbec jako se zabývali jako politiku z úplně jiného hlediska a úplně jinak. Politika kdysi byla válka. To není tak, jak bychom chtěli, aby politika vlastně dále takhle pokračovalo, protože podívejte se na ten svět, kam to dospělo. Je důležité vlastně porozumět, že vlastně politika není válka a je to o tom, abychom měli konsenzus, abychom vlastně udělali úplně jiný přístup k politice. Lidi jsou připraveni, aby politika se hrála jinak, jenomže politici nebyli vlastně připraveni. A Hannah vykládá, že teďka je tady na té konference opravdu významná příležitost se setkat, jak vlastně to společně vlastně změnit ten svět a zvlášť povzbudit ženy, jak oni můžou vstoupit do politiky a jak oni můžou vlastně debatovat, diskutovat a povzbuzovat ostatní, aby byl konsenzus, aby politika nebyla válka a abychom dosáhli ty věci úplně jinou cestou. Thank you very much indeed. So let me next welcome Anita. Anita is the Managing Director of Hewlett-Packard Norway. She's the President of EMEA Women's Leadership Council. She's certified in strategy and innovation and completed a leadership program for high potentials at Harvard Business School. Over the years, she's been recognized for her contributions to industry with a number of awards. And this year she was awarded with the Social Media Personality Honorary Award of the Year in Norway. So let me put it to you, Anita. How do you see the conference and what do you think is the most important element here?
Well, there are many conferences around the world. You can actually make a full job going to different conferences. But I think what differentiates this conference is that it's value-based. And it's also very much concerned about the high-level perspective. And it gathers all, both politics, art, business, and I think that's the combination that we need to solve the challenges that we're in. So even though we're quite frank on all the challenges we have, because it's tough, ever since 2008 and the financial crisis, the world has changed, but it has changed for the better, because now we are starting to think differently. Now there's much more room for acting differently. Now it's much more room for combining different ideas. And I think, even though the conference is 16 years old, it has the ability to grasp what's happening. And for HP, we have 22,000 women in EMEA, and we are in a big transformation, and we need to capitalize on the whole workforce. And we're here to be inspired, to raise our hands, and like you say, not just to watch, but to go in and do like this, and actually take on the challenges, because having a leadership role now is tough. It's not in the 80s anymore. The curves are not going all up. And for my industry, it's run by women now. Look at the CEO of IBM, CEO of HP, CEO of Yahoo, COO of Facebook. It's tough times. Maybe it's time for the women to come and really do the hard work.
Takže Anita říká, že možná teďka právě nastal ten čas, aby ženy udělaly tu tvrdou práci, protože ona jako nám vysvětlila, že dneska CEO IBM je žena, CEO Hewlett-Packard je žena, CEO Yahoo je žena. A v HP, Hewlett-Packard, tady v této oblasti regionu Evropa, Střední východ a Afrika je vlastně 22 000 žen, které pracují u Hewlett-Packard. A ona ví, že to je opravdu velká síla a ta síla může vlastně změnit věci a vlastně v dnešní době po té krize je to sice velmi těžké období, ale právě v tomto období se už ukázalo, že ženy teda mají určité schopnosti, samozřejmě společně s mužema, aby vlastně zvládly ty těžké časy a aby vlastně dosáhly a pomohly těm firmám taky dosáhnout prostě ještě vyšší úroveň. A pro ní ona říká, že ta konference znamená, že můžou se všichni ženy vlastně z politiky, z biznisu, z dobročinné organizace se setkat a právě probrat, jak můžou společně pracovat, aby právě tento svět se změnil po té krize, co byl jako v 2008. Thank you very much, Anita. So I will now turn to Lorella. Yes, Lorella Zanardo. Lorella is the author of a documentary film and then a book, Il Corpo delle Donne, and that's women's bodies, about the exploitation of women on Italian television. Most of television is owned by Berlusconi, and we all know what problems he's having. A blockbuster, this particular film about exploitation of women on television was a blockbuster on the internet, watched by 5 million people.
7.
Sorry, 7 now. Yes, 7 million people. And she's considered to be amongst the 150 fearless women in the world. Precisely because of her charge against Italy and its notorious sexist TV programming. Please, Lorella, tell us why you believe, because you have been an agent of change yourself in Italy, a very long and uphill struggle, but you did it. Please tell us what you think about this conference.
So I was participating at the first conference 16 years ago. It was in Italy, in Milan. I remember we were few persons, and I kept on coming. I didn't succeed to come every year, but I think that I came 10 or 12 times. And I have to admit that I learned a lot here. Every time I keep on coming here, I listen. I remember the speech Maggie gave, I think it was a couple of years ago, and then I went home. I was facing a very tough time in my country because to produce a video against television in Italy, you must be courageous. And then I was thinking of what Maggie was experiencing in her country. And she was facing a much more difficult situation than I was facing. So I gained a lot of courage from her experience. So I went back to my country and said, it's so easy here if I compare it to what Maggie is doing. So it's so important to find a situation in the world where you can inspire yourself, take energy, and then go back and fight. So,
thank you very much indeed. Jenom teda pár slov od Lorely. Ona vlastně se zúčastnila úplně první jako konference WIN, už je to 16 let. A to bylo v Miláně a bylo jenom pár lidí vlastně, a ne těch 800, co máme dneska. Ona hodně naslouchala, setkala se s různýma lidma a říká, že ona se hodně i sama naučila. Ale hlavně, že ta skupina těch žen, když ona dost často, ne každým rokem, přišla na tu konferenci, že jí to inspirovalo a ona mohla inspirovat ostatní. Protože ona si pamatuje Maggie, která je z Burundi a pamatovala, co ona říkala, jaké těžké časy ona má jako v Burundi, aby dělala tam ty dobré činné věci, které tam dělá. A Lorella najednou si uvědomila, když se vrátila do Itálie a měla válčit proti italskou televizi, protože, jak asi víte, tam bylo hodně téměř nahatých ženských, v 6 hodin večer, 7 hodin večer, 8 hodin večer, a ona se rozhodla, že vyrobí teda film, která ukazuje prostě na toto, jak je to možné, že nedovolují, aby ženy mluvily, aby vlastně vystoupili jako normální osoba a ne prostě jako nějakou nahatou. A takže udělala tento film, 7 milionů lidí už to viděli na internetu. Ona je velmi známá v Itálii a dokonce se tam ty programy a pořady změnily kvůli tomu, co ona dělala a jak ona teďka i učí mladým lidem. Takže ona si vzala tu inspirace, že vlastně to neměla tak těžké v té Itálii přesvědčit teda jako televize, aby trošičku měli jiný přístup k ženám, takový lidský přístup, protože zjistila vlastně, co ta Maggie musí v té Africe, teda jak ona musí bojovat. Thanks very much indeed, Lorella. Let me turn to Angus. Our president and general manager of Dell, Europe, Middle East and Africa, responsible for the company's business across that region, and he's also the executive sponsor for Dell's Global Giving Council in the region, which oversees an investment of considerable funding to the not-for-profit sector. He's also the co-lead for Dell's EMEA Women's Network and a member of the Dell Global Diversity Council, which is actually chaired by Michael Dell. So Angus is very much part of Dell's ongoing commitment to fostering female talent. Tell us something about what you think the conference is about and what you feel is an important element of the conference.
Sure. I'm very much looking forward to the conference. I had an opportunity to listen to the earlier session and to listen to you, Hannah, and very inspirational. And I'm sure that the sessions throughout tomorrow, I'm sure I will gain a lot of inspiration from seeing women in leadership positions in entrepreneur and politics and business. And in Dell, it's an area in which I'm very passionate about. I believe an organisation that is most diverse and inclusive is a much stronger organisation, makes a much stronger business. And success for Dell as a company will be having diversity in all respects, including gender diversity at all levels of our organisation. It's an area as a company that we've been focused on for a number of years. I often describe it as some progress made and significant more progress to be made. But I also do think it's important as we move forward, particularly within companies, in ensuring that we have a more diverse leadership across all of the organisation and businesses, that we also engage men in that discussion, engage men in leadership positions, whether it's in politics or in business and entrepreneurial areas, so that they can understand the benefits of having a more diverse organisation. They can understand the strength that brings to a team, to a company at the end of the day. So I guess I could say that I've seen the light. I clearly see the significant benefit for my company and for my team and organisation and region. But I do believe that part of my message tomorrow will be around how do we engage more men in leadership in this discussion, in this debate.
Thank you very much indeed, Angus. Angus nám říkal, že se velice těší na celé tu konferenci, že slyšel Hanu a i Lorela a Anitu teďka odpoledne a pro něho vidět ženy, které jsou v pozicích, kde vedou, jestli to je v politice, nebo je to v biznisu, nebo v neziskovém sektoru, je pro něho inspirující, protože opravdu Dell jako organizace, jako korporace je mnohem silnější tím, že spolupracuje s ženama a povzbuzuje je, aby si vzali na sebe větší zodpovědnost. Je to o tom, ano, povzbuzovat, je to taky aktivizovat muži. Je to důležité aktivizovat muži, protože oni mají být součást právě té diskuse o leadershipu, o vedení a je to o tom, aby vlastně se jako pozbudilo jako ty muži, aby se aktivizovali tady v této debatě, v té diskuse, protože je to o tom, že to je jsou muži a ženy, kteří společně vlastně tváří tu silnější korporace a tu silnější firmu. Takže jeden z jeho cílů je vlastně aktivizovat a pozbuzovat ty muži, aby vlastně o tom diskutovali a přijímali vlastně mezi sebou a společně vlastně s ženama spolupracovali. Thank you very much, Angus. And Maggie, last but not at all the least. Maggie Margarita is from Burundi. She's a social entrepreneur representing a non-for-profit organization which makes a difference in Africa, both in economics and environment. She's a holder of an honorary doctorate from the University of Louvain, and she leads a courageous battle for peace and reconciliation in her native Burundi. She has also been the founder of a foundation, Maison Shalom, and to this date, Maison Shalom has helped over 50,000 children and adults. So Maggie, please tell us why you think the conference is important, or what is important for you within this conference.
I think it's the fifth time I came in WIN conference. And every year I change completely my heart and how to lead Maison Shalom. First year I have discovered that I make so much mistakes with only my heart, because I want also to lead with only heart. After I see where I put so many mistakes and I change. I can tell you, when I arrived the first time, after listening the other women, I changed my vision, how to collaborate with also local administration. Because first time I said, I don't want to work with all those stupid politicians. And then when I met here so wonderful women who collaborate with politicians, I said, oh, I will try to be wise and collaborate with them. The second year I met wonderful women and with, how to say, to lead in a hospital and so. And then I learned so much things. Today, when I came, when I have problem, when the women in, that I met here became like my sisters. I don't see Christine like a president. I can take phone and say, I have problem. I give you example. When I met Graziella, she's now my sister, yeah. And I have problem with women who are very poor and have family. They take care of other children. They have 8 children and they are AIDS. And I said, I would like to have a cow and give to a woman in order they have dignity. They must not come to me to beg. And the women, after in the restaurant, they give me money to buy 20 cows. Now, if you can visit those women who got those cows, they change completely their life. Now, for me, I don't come for conference. I come among my sisters, among my brothers, and I see that they come on, report. Yes, they raise me, and I am a member of this wonderful family. You are amazing. And when I think that when I must travel and come here, this morning, now I just listen to you, I was thinking, why politician women in my country, they can't come and listen to these wonderful women and then change the, because for us in my country, politicians, we don't want to see them. Yeah. And I changed my mind. Just, I said, I think I will ask Christine to invite next year politician women in my country.
Jak asi víte, tak vlastně Maggie je takzvaná, já nevím, jestli se to dá tak říct, sociální podnikatelka. Vlastně ona se snaží změnit věci v Burundi skrz neziskovky a vlastně udělat tam změny, aby jednak tam byl mír, Jednak, aby lidi spolupracovali spolu a taky, aby vlastně, protože tam je hodně chudých lidí, aby navzájem si pomohli samozřejmě. Ona sama byla inspirovaná, když přišla na ty různé konference WIN, protože téměř od samého začátku se cítí, že ona je vlastně v rodině, kde jsou sestry a bratry, které jako prostě nejenom jí pomáhají, ale ona má velice dobrý pocit. Jí to velice pomáhá, protože ona zjistila, že udělala hodně chyb, když založila Maison Shalom, že spíš se řídila jako podle srdce a co chtěla dělat, radši než možná racionálně. A pak tady, když mluvila s různýma politikama, business lídři a takové věci, takže zjistila, jak ona by mohla vlastně spolupracovat s jinýma lidma v Burundi, s politikama, s biznismeni, protože ona si myslela, že to má dělat sama, nebo vlastně neuměla najít tu cestu, jak to udělat s politikama a s business lídrama, ale tady zjistila skrz WIN konference, jak by mohla vlastně takovou spolupráci načat, a to jí strašně pomohlo, protože tam vlastně to uskutečnila tak. A ona, to je taková zajímavá historka, že seděla jako mezi ženama v restauraci tady jako na poslední nebo někdy jindy jako na konferenci a mluvila o tom, že opravdu ty velmi chudé ženy by potřebovaly aspoň jednu krávu. A ona musí nějak sehnat ty peníze na to. No a tam prostě všichni se skládali a dali jí dost peněz, aby mohla koupit 20 krav. A ona chce jenom říct, že těch 20 kráv tak změnili ten život těch žen, ty matky, které měly děti a staré lidi samozřejmě, kteří se o nich starali, že to prostě ta změna toho života byla úžasná. A vlastně zase se vracíme k tomu, jak vlastně taková konference mění život. Že ženy spolupracují mezi sebou, ale taky pracují samozřejmě s muži, v politice, všude v biznisu, neziskový sektor a vlastně, co oni můžou dokázat a co oni můžou společně změnit. Máte dotazy? Do you have any questions? Have we said it all? Teďka je čas, že můžete mít právě face-to-face, one-to-one interviews s jakýmkoliv člověkem byste chtěli. So you can have face-to-face interviews with any one of our speakers or with the organizer Kristin. A taky samozřejmě jste pozvaní na večeři dneska, abyste mohli prostě i cítit sami tu sílu, prostě, která je tady mezi těch 800 žen. Yes, please.
I have a question. My name is Chabra Kumi from Hindu. I'm from India. I have a question for Kristin, please. I read downstairs about Win Young. I'm a little interested to know about that because I think young people can benefit so much from this wonderful wealth of experience and that you have, and you know, flourishing together with beauty, trust and passion, they would gain from the Win philosophy.
Otázka, thank you very much. Otázka je tady paní z Indie, že viděla tam, že jako informace o tom, že existuje taky Win Young, nebo Win Mládež. A že bych chtěla vědět trošičku víc od Kristin, co to vlastně znamená, ten Win Young. Protože samozřejmě mladé lidi jsou naší budoucnost, tak se ptá Kristin.
Yeah, so thank you for the question. We see that it's so important to inspire the young generation and to learn from them too in this technology world. I think the young people know more than the more experienced, let's say, in other fields. So we started last year with one group of the under 30s, And this year we have 3 groups, 3 workshops specifically for women under 30. And there are forums to discuss, to listen, and then there are some training too. So we hope that if this is a success now, at the next one we'll market it more and tell all of you to bring your daughter, your sister, your neighbor's daughter, and so on and so forth, and see how we can make that sub-conference at the conference. Sure, we can be together in the plenaries and then other groups. And who knows, put some of them on stage too. So this is a beginning, but we see that this could be a very, very exciting project.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Win a mládež. Kristýn říká, jak je vlastně mladá generace inspirující pro nás a jak my samozřejmě můžeme být inspirující taky pro ně. Oni určitě ovládají tu technologii líp než my. Ale můžeme navzájem vlastně si inspirovat a naučit se něco a vlastně můžeme i taky spolupracovat. A to je proč minule, když byl Win konference, tak byla jedna skupina vlastně pro těch, kteří měli 30 roků a míň, kde vlastně měli workshopy a semináře a nějaký takový, jak bych řekla, školení. Dneska jsou 3 skupiny v dnešním konferenci letos. 3 konference, kde jsou mladé lidi, 30 a míň. Jsou tam debatní kroužky, workshopy, semináře, vzdělávání. Teďka se přemýšlí o tom, že příští konference pozveme mladé lidi i do pléna, i na jevišti, mít víc těch workshopů a vlastně navzájem se nechat inspirovat. Any more questions? Ještě další dotazy? Prosím.
Hello, I would like to ask Mrs. Kristin, what is her opinion on Czech women and Czech environment, since she has been here, I presume, for a few days now and had a chance to interact with Czech women and be able to see and perhaps to speak to some of them. And what is missing here in the attitude of Czech women? What would you recommend us so that we can move forward?
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll just translate. Takže Linda, která má velké zkušenosti ze Středního východa, protože pracovala tady v tomto arabském světě a má tam z toho velké zkušenosti. Ona se ptá Kristýn, jaký je její názor o ženy tady v České republice, o prostředí, kde ženy pracují a jestli je něco, co vlastně chybí pro ženy tady v tomto prostředí v České republice.
Yeah. So I don't consider myself an expert to answer you. And we have Czech women on our team. There's been Czech women on stage, and we have met with the women of Czech women's associations before coming here. So I see that the Czech women are very competent. Everyone I met very competent. Also, I see in action working with you that the Czech women are also very collaborative and have beautiful feminine qualities, and my recommendation is to fight for that, not try to fit into the male model of just competition and just growth and all of that, because the world really needs you to, as we are talking about, all of